everyone, it's Amanda from Moses and Me Card Company. Today I'm going to show you the cards that I created using the Simon Says stamp December 2019 card kit called Gnome for the Holidays. I kind of debated whether or not I wanted to do this one since it came so late, but I think all of my Simon Says stamp December card kits come late, so I have a whole stack of them that I've never actually used. So I thought I'd go ahead and do this one for you guys. The card, let me show you really quickly what we got in the kit. We got some cardstock. And I'm just looking to see what colors these are. This is a Simon Says stamp Schoolhouse Red. This is black Simon Says stamp, and this is 120 white cardstock. And I also got, of course, the stamp set. It's called Gnome for the Holidays, which I really liked. I got real excited about this when I saw it come out, and I went ahead and I purchased the dies for it, and of course the dies showed up, but then I never got the card kit until very, very late in the season. And I think it's because they had issues with the card, not the cardstock, but the actual pattern paper that they had listed with the kit. So there's that. And then we also get some envelopes. This is Slate Schoolhouse Red and white. We also get a, what is this? A silver shimmer 6x6 cardstock, which is really pretty. It's got a little bit of a shimmer. And now we were supposed to get the Photo Play Kringle and Company pattern papers, but I got some other pattern papers. This is looks like some sort of lumberjack theme. I really feel bad for these people at Simon Says stamp. I know that people were probably pretty upset that theirs was so late, and then they got it and their paper wasn't what it was supposed to be. But in any case, I know that there's so much out of their control, so I went and I found the paper and went ahead and purchased it. This is the pattern paper that was supposed to come in the kit. This is the Kringle and Company Photo Play. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Photo Play Kringle and Company 6x6 paper pack. So I just purchased it, and this will also help me not have to decide which side of the paper I'm going to be chopping on, because I'll have at least two of each pattern. I really like these patterns. I like the red and black and the grays. I think they're really pretty. So there's that. And then you also got a stencil. This is the Christmas Gnome Home stencil, which is kind of cute, so we'll use that. You also got this is a blending brush. This is, I'm not sure who makes it, if it's Simon Says stamp blending brush or the Life Changing blending brushes. You got the little gnome die, and then you also got some action wobblers. So there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and try to do at least 5 cards. If I get to 10, wonderful, I'll post them all. But if not, this is the last of the Christmas cards. So anyway, look forward to showing you what I've made. Thanks so much.
Okay, so for card number 1, I'm using one of the gnomes from the stamp set that I colored in with my Copic markers, and I'm also taking the pattern paper that we got, and I'm just kind of cutting it down so that it is an A2 size. I'm not going to have any border on this card. And this pattern paper I used, it kind of had a bluish gray stripe in it, which I thought went really well with the blue gnome. I like that color palette. I wish I had colored a few more of them in some blues, but that's okay. And I'm also taking some of the trees from the stamp set, and I'm going to stamp those out using, my mind just went blank. I'm going to use Distress Oxide ink to stamp those out. I'm just getting everything lined up there. And that is iced spruce. That's the color of that ink. So it's kind of a nice kind of gray blue palette that I have going on there. And then I got some more Love from Lizzie peel-offs for Christmas. My sister got me some, and these were in a really pretty, I think they're supposed to be like a sparkly black, but the sparkle in it is actually like a navy blue. So I used those on my paper seams, and they really look pretty on this card. And then I used, of course, MFT's, I want to say it's blueberry ink to stamp out that sentiment. But I really like this color. These are really pretty, and it really went well with this card. It almost looks like a dark navy color. But like I said, I think they're supposed to be a sparkly black, but they look navy to me, so I really thought that went well. And then you can see I used the die to cut out the gnome from some fun foam. I'm just going to give him a little bit of dimension on the card. This was such a cute card kit. I really do like it. I think I might keep it all together and make some more cards for 2020 from it. I don't know if I've got 5 more Christmas cards in me. I can try. We shall see. And then these are some sequins that I got from a Love from Lizzie card kit a long time ago, and they're in a really pretty matte navy color. And they had a couple of different sizes there, so I always like it when I've got a couple of larger sequins that I can pair with smaller ones. And I said this is really pretty. They're really pretty sequins, and they went really well with the navy palette that I have going on. I just love that when you find stuff in your craft room that just works. Sometimes that's so rare, but in this case it worked out just fine. And I'm just putting some glue down to make sure that those peel-offs don't come up. I had a hard time getting that bottom one to stick, so I'm trying to pick up the color of the sequence a little better for you guys, but you can kind of see it in the light. So it's kind of just a matte navy color. Now for card 2, it's going to be a very similar layout to card 1. At first I wanted to put all 3 of these little characters that I had colored on this one card, but I don't think I could do it in portrait. I'd have to cut off their little arms, so I decided not to do that on this card, that I would save that for another card. So you can see here it's got kind of the same layout. It's a gnome with a couple of trees and a different sentiment. This one says Merry Christmas, and that's also from the stamp set. And I used some silver Love from Lizzie peel-offs to put between the pattern papers there, which I like. I'm a Georgia gal, so red and black are colors that I'm very familiar with and like a lot, with accents of silver. So this card kit spoke to me. And these are trees that I got from my Spellbinders kits. It's one of the Spellbinders kits we got either in November or December. And they were just laying there on my desk, and I thought, well, they went so nicely with this, so I decided to use them. And I mounted one of the trees on some fun foam, and I mounted the little gnome on some fun foam as well to give them a little bit of dimension. And then I'm just going to adhere this directly to my card base. I really like card kits like this that have cute little imagery, so it's really easy to make cards out of it that are kind of sweet for people in your life. You can see I actually tore off the top of that so I could put it on straight, but there is card number 2. Now for card number 3, I lost some of the footage on this, so I used my Mama Elephant frame die, my snail mail die, to cut out that red panel and mount the little characters on that. And I also used my favorite thing sheet music background to create that background panel that you see there on the white cardstock. These little characters, for some reason, they look like they were singing to me, so I decided to make them look like they were all singing a carol. And on the top I stamped wishing you a happy, and then on the bottom Christmas from the stamp set. And I just used some Copic markers and a dark gray to color those in. And then I'm mounting all 3 of these on these action wobblers. I've never actually used the action wobblers before. In hindsight, I think I would have probably just done the one character. It seems like 3 of them is a little bit of overkill, but they still I thought they turned out pretty cute. I liked how they just kind of look like they're singing carols to you, and then they can move as well. So maybe when I send this out next year, I'll put a carol on the inside of the card, so when they open it, it'll actually sing something to you, to the recipient. And then I'm just going over the Christmas with some Wink of Stella. Give it just a little bit of sparkle. And then I took some music notes from my honeybee stamp called Joy to the World, just to kind of reiterate that these little guys are singing to you, in case you didn't already pick up on that. I probably should have done that first, but it worked out okay. And they had various music notes in that stamp set, so I just kind of distributed them just all along that red panel there. And that red panel is actually from the pattern paper that was supposed to come in the kit. Now I know the pattern paper that I got was different than the pattern paper that I was supposed to get, so I kind of use those terms interchangeably, but this is from the pattern paper that I purchased that was supposed to be in the kit. Now I'm just adhering this. I had the hardest time getting this panel straight. You can see it's kind of crooked there, so I ended up taking it off and re-adhering it, but it worked out. I didn't tear anything, which is a miracle. And then I added, my initial thought was that they could be standing on top of the Christmas words, but then it just kind of looked like they were floating a little bit. So I took a Love from Lizzie peel off and kind of added that as a base for them all to be standing on. I don't know, it's kind of thin, but I thought that it was better than nothing, so they're at least not floating around out there. And then this is just a black peel off. And it kind of has the same pattern as the red panel there. It's kind of got a scalloped bottom, which worked out, I thought, kind of nicely. And I'm just going to stamp a few more little notes around. And I'll call it quits on that card. And there you have card number 3. Now I will go in and actually put some Winka Stella on the balls of the hats for the gnomes. But I like that. I've never, like I said, I've never used an action wobbler, and I did enjoy it. It's kind of fun to add a little dimension to the card and some action. Now for this card, this is card number 4, I used the little gnome die that we got in the kit, and I used some pattern paper. And then I used my Copic markers to color in the beard and the nose of the gnome. And I'm going to actually use the pattern paper that we got from the Lumberjack paper pad. I really like this Starry Night. I thought that was really neat pattern paper, and I enjoyed that. And then I'm going to use some of the glitter cardstock that we got and cut out a snowbank. And this is from, I used the MFT. I've got the stitched slopes die, and I just used that to cut out the bank. And then I mounted that on some fun foam, so it's got a little bit of dimension. And I used a couple of sentiments from the, I think it's Catherine Zilski Simple Christmas, or Clean Line Christmas, and just stamped out Calm and Bright on some of the pattern paper and heat embossed that with silver embossing powder. And I didn't quite like how that looked, so I took a postage stamp die that I had and cut out some more of the pattern paper, and then I mounted the sentiment on some fun foam and then mounted it on that postage stamp, which I kind of thought turned out well. It just kind of drew in a little bit more of the grays and whites and just kind of framed out that sentiment a little bit. And then I also stamped at the bottom of the snowbank, Peace to You This Season. So this one I thought was just kind of cute. I really do like that paper that came in the kit, even though it wasn't what was supposed to come in the kit. Now for the last card, this is card number 5. We had this kit, or the stamp set rather, had lots of pretty snowflakes on it. I was really kind of surprised by how pretty these snowflakes were, and so I stamped those on some more of the pattern paper that came in the kit, and I heat embossed them with the Cloud 9 embossing powder, which is a really pretty sparkly embossing powder. And then I heat embossed the Merry Christmas with some silver, not sparkle, but silver embossing powder that I have from Simon Says Stamp. And it just really is a very pretty card. I really like the snowflakes. And I just took the other side of the sparkly white cardstock that I had. I had the other side of that snow bank that we created in the previous card. And so that's what he's standing on right now. And of course I have my Mama Elephant snail mail die. Again, that's from card number 3. I took the outer panel. I hadn't used that yet. So I mounted both the Christmas tree gnome and the frame for this one on some fun foam. So they both got a little bit of dimension. You can see I'm gluing them now. But I really do. I like the snowflakes, and I like that Cloud 9 embossing powder. I think I've had it in my stash for a while. It came in a card kit at some point, and I just had never used it. And thought today's the day. And I'm glad I did. So I probably will break that out for next month's kit with all the Build-A-Snowflakes, because it's just so pretty. And I was pleased with how this card came out. I like how the color palette kind of works together, all the grays and the black. Is that gingham or I don't know. I don't know what that pattern's called, but so that's kind of cute. And then I took a little heart that I have from Doodlebug just to kind of draw your eye to the sentiment up there, so it doesn't get lost amongst the snowflakes. And I took some Winka Stella and colored in the Christmas tree, so he's got a little sparkle. And I took my, of course, gel pen and filled in his eyes. And I went back and I filled in the eyes of all of the gnomes that I had, so they've got a little bit of dimension there.
Days. I'm sorry this is so late. This came very, very late in December to me, and I didn't have enough time to do anything with it before the holiday. So I was able to pump out a few more Christmas cards this year, just in time for the Orthodox Christmas, which is January 7th. So if any of you celebrate that, Merry Orthodox Christmas to you. Here is card number 1. I like this one. I thought this one turned out really cute. I like the color combo on it. And then we have card number 2, which looks a lot like card number 1, only instead of stamped pieces, I used, of course, die cuts from my Spellbinders kit, which I thought went very well with the red and black. Card number 3 is, of course, all these cute little wobbler card people. I just kind of thought they were funny. They look like they're singing. Card number 4 uses, of course, the little gnome die. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. And I really like this pattern paper, even though it's not the pattern paper that was supposed to come with the kit. I like that night sky. I thought that was pretty. There's that one. And then last but not least, the card with the beautiful snowflakes from the kit and that beautiful embossing powder. So there you guys have it. I hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll chat with you guys very soon with the next card kit. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.